Welcome to this deep dive
Yeah.
into 11 powerful strategies for a better life.
Wow, wow.
Curated by AI, no less.
AI curated better life.
Okay, we're going to be counting down from number 11 to number 1, with each one, building on the last. But the AI's top pick
Okay.
might surprise you.
Okay.
The most foundational one for a better life. So stick around to the very end to find out what it is.
I'm intrigued. I gotta know now.
Okay, so kicking things off with strategy number 11,
Okay.
the reverse bucket list.
Reverse bucket list.
We're all familiar with the traditional bucket list, right?
Yeah.
All the things we want to do before we kick the bucket.
Right.
But the reverse bucket list flicks the script. It's about looking back at your life and celebrating everything you've already accomplished.
So looking back instead of forward.
Instead of fixating on what you haven't done yet, you're taking stock of how far you've already come.
Yeah.
And that can be really powerful for boosting your confidence and cultivating gratitude for where you've been.
You know, you're absolutely right. That is a very powerful shift in thinking.
Like, think back to that time you landed your dream job, or finally finished that marathon you thought you'd never be able to do,
Right.
or even just mastering a new skill, like, baking the perfect sourdough loaf. Each one of those moments contributes to your own story of success.
It does. It does.
So reflecting on those past wins, you're not just reminiscing,
Right.
you're uncovering insights about yourself.
Absolutely.
What motivates you, what brings you joy, what kind of environments you thrive in.
Yeah, when you see it all laid out like that, you really start to get to know yourself better.
Right. And that kind of self-awareness is so important when it comes to setting future goals that are really aligned with who you are.
I completely agree. It helps you move forward with much greater clarity.
Okay, so on to number 10, which is all about injecting a dose of adventure into your life,
Okay.
but on a smaller, more manageable scale.
All right. I like that.
Micro-adventures.
Micro adventures. Okay.
The beauty of these is they're accessible. You don't need weeks of vacation time or a huge budget to experience something new and exciting.
Right.
It's about finding those pockets of adventure in everyday life.
I like it.
Like, spending the night camping under the stars, exploring a nearby town you've never been to, or even just trying a new hiking trail in your local park.
Yeah.
It's about breaking out of your routine and exposing yourself to new things, however small they seem.
I'm with you.
Now, don't underestimate the impact of these micro-adventures. Novelty, new experiences, all that stuff. That triggers the release of dopamine in the brain.
The good stuff.
Boosts our mood, enhances our creativity,
Yeah.
helps us get out of mental ruts.
Sometimes those smaller, more frequent adventures are better than the one big one.
Hit the reset button on your brain without having to travel across the world.
That's it.
All right, number 9 might sound a bit counterintuitive in our world.
Okay.
It's about carving out dedicated analog hours.
Analog hours. Interesting.
We're talking about disconnecting from the digital world for a set period of time every day.
Unplugging.
No screens, no notifications, just you and the real world.
I can get behind that.
Imagine putting your phone on airplane mode, closing your laptop,
Right.
maybe turning off the Wi-Fi,
Oh, wow. Going all in.
and filling that time with things that engage your senses in different ways.
Pricey.
Reading a physical book,
Okay.
writing in a journal, spending time in nature, playing a musical instrument, or even just enjoying a cup of tea in silence.
That sounds really peaceful.
All that constant digital stimulation.
Right.
That's draining, emotionally, mentally.
It is.
Analog hours give your brain a chance to decompress and recharge.
Oh, yeah, like a mental detox.
It's like giving your mind a chance to breathe and reconnect with the present.
And I bet in that space, some amazing things happen.
You might be surprised by the insights and creativity that emerge.
I can see that.
You might find yourself more present,
Yeah.
more in tune with your surroundings, more connected to, your own inner wisdom.
Okay, I'm sold on this one.
Okay, ready to take a step back and get a bird's eye view of your life.
Okay, ready.
Strategy number 8 is the annual life audit.
Annual life audit. That sounds intense.
It's all about, taking a structured approach to self-reflection and planning.
Interesting.
Think of it like an annual checkup, but for your life as a whole.
Okay, I like that.
Once a year, you set aside some time to assess each key area of your life.
Okay.
Your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, personal growth,
Right.
even your sense of fun and adventure.
That.
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Rate each area on a scale of 1 to 10 and jot down actionable steps for improvement in areas that are scoring a little low.
Oh, so this is about getting ahead of the game.
Exactly. It's about being proactive instead of waiting for problems to escalate
I see. So you're taking control of your life's trajectory.
and steering it towards, a destination that aligns with your values and your goals.
I like that.
It's like regular maintenance for your life, making sure that everything is running smoothly.
Right.
By doing this once a year, you're basically setting up a system for continuous growth and improvement.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're not just drifting through life, you're consciously shaping where you're going.
You're at the wheel.
Now let's talk about strategy number 7.
All right.
This is about combating that inner critic we all have.
Oh, yeah.
It's called building a mental portfolio of wins.
A mental portfolio. Okay.
We all have moments of self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
When that inner voice is whispering, you're not good enough or you're going to fail.
Oh, all the time.
The mental portfolio of wins is like a secret weapon to combat those thoughts.
Interesting.
It's about curating a collection of your proudest moments, achievements, big or small,
Okay.
keeping them readily accessible.
I like that.
Could be a physical folder, a note on your phone,
Right.
or even just a mental list you can call upon when you need a boost.
Yeah. Just a reminder.
It's like creating your own personal highlight reel.
Right.
You know those times you nailed a presentation at work,
Yeah.
or volunteered for a cause you care about, or finally learned to parallel park
Or bake that perfect sourdough.
without breaking a sweat.
Yes. Okay.
Those moments that made you think, hey, I did that. I'm capable of great things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when those negative thoughts creep in, you can pull out your portfolio.
Right.
Remind yourself of all the amazing things you've already done.
It's like a dose of positivity right there when you need it.
It's a powerful way to shift your focus from, your weaknesses to your strengths.
Absolutely.
It's like having a cheerleader in your back pocket,
I love that analogy.
ready to pump you up when you're feeling down.
Bring it on.
And the more you add to your portfolio, the more ammunition you have to combat that negativity
Right. Got to stock up on those wins.
and maintain that forward momentum.
I'm feeling more confident already.
Okay, on to strategy number 6, which is all about tackling procrastination
Oh, yes, please.
with a simple but effective strategy. The 2-minute rule.
2-minute rule.
This rule is so simple. If a task takes 2 minutes or less to complete,
Okay.
do it right away.
Don't even think about it.
Don't put it off. Don't add it to your to-do list. Just do it.
Get it off your plate.
Responding to a quick email, washing a few dishes,
Right.
putting away those clothes you tried on but didn't wear, making your bed.
All those little things.
These are all small tasks that can be tackled in 2 minutes or less.
Yep. Yep.
And while they seem small, insignificant even,
Right.
the cumulative effect of actually doing this all the time, it can be remarkable.
Interesting.
You'll find that you're staying on top of things.
Okay.
Your space is more organized.
Yeah.
Your mind is less cluttered with all those little things.
So it's like clearing the mental clutter one tiny task at a time.
And each small task you complete, that gives you a sense of accomplishment.
Ah, I can see that.
A little dopamine hit that keeps you going.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly. A positive feedback loop of productivity.
I like it.
Okay, we're halfway through our list now.
Halfway there.
And strategy number 5 is about something so fundamental to connection.
Right.
Yet, we often overlook it.
What is it?
Radical listening.
Article this.
Now, this goes beyond just hearing the words someone is saying. It's about actively and intentionally listening with your whole being.
With your whole being, aren't you?
Your ears, your mind, your heart.
Right.
Imagine this. You're having a conversation with someone.
Okay.
And instead of just waiting for your turn to speak
Right.
or thinking about what you're going to say next,
Yeah.
you're fully present in that moment,
I see.
absorbing their words, their tone, their body language.
You're being fully present.
You're making eye contact, nodding along, and reflecting back what you hear to make sure you understand.
That makes a lot of sense.
In a world where everyone is constantly vying for attention,
Yeah, it's true.
radical listening is a powerful act.
Yeah.
It's about giving the gift of your attention.
It is a gift.
You might be surprised by the depth of connection that comes out of that.
Yeah, that deeper understanding.
It's like you're saying to the other person, you matter. What you have to say is important to me.
And who doesn't want to feel that way?
Radical listening, it strengthens relationships, builds trust, enhances understanding.
Yeah, it's a skill worth cultivating.
All right, ready to inject some fun into this.
Always.
Strategy number 4 is all about turning those boring everyday tasks into a game.
Oh, a game. Okay.
We're talking about gamifying the mundane.
Gamifying the mundane.
This is about tapping into our natural inclination for play and challenge.
Right.
even in the most boring parts of life.
It's about finding creative ways to make those things we don't like doing more enjoyable.
So let's say you hate folding laundry.
Oh, yeah.
Why not make it a game?
Okay, I'm listening.
Set a timer, see how fast you can fold a basket of clothes.
All right.
Or create a point system. Reward yourself with a treat once you reach a certain score.
Ooh, I like that.
Maybe blast some music and try to finish before the song is over.
That sounds more fun already.
The key is to find what motivates you.
Yeah.
Adapt it to fit the task at hand.
Right.
Find a way to make it feel less like a chore and more like a challenge.
Or a game.
Or a game, exactly.
You might even start looking forward to those tasks.
Who knows? You might. Okay, let's move on to number 3.
Let's do it. Yeah, it really shows you that you don't have to just be stuck with the way things are.
That's it. Reclaiming that sense of play and, bringing more lightness to our everyday lives.
Absolutely. And that lightness can make a big difference in our well-being. Speaking of well-being.
Okay.
Strategy number 3 is all about preparing for life's curveballs.
Okay.
It's called creating a cognitive toolkit.
So this is like having a mental toolbox
Yeah.
filled with different tools we can use to navigate challenging moments, when we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed or just stuck.
Imagine, you're faced with a sudden problem.
Right.
You need a specific tool to fix it. You wouldn't want to be scrambling around looking for the right tool in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
Much better to have it ready to go.
Makes sense. So what kind of tools go in this cognitive toolkit?
Well, anything that helps you regulate your emotions, manage stress,
Okay.
cultivate a sense of calm, or even just shift your perspective when you need to.
Right.
Think of things like mindfulness exercises,
Okay.
deep breathing techniques, gratitude practices,
Yeah.
positive self-talk affirmations, even visualization techniques.
It's like having a mental first aid kit
Yeah.
for when life throws a curveball.
And just like, you wouldn't wait till you're in a medical emergency to learn first aid.
Right.
It's important to practice these cognitive tools regularly
Yeah.
so they become second nature when you really need them.
I bet the more familiar you are with them and how they work,
Right.
the better you can use them in those moments.
Absolutely. It's about building resilience, that
Right.
ability to bounce back and, navigate difficult emotions with more ease.
I imagine having that toolkit can help us approach challenges with more of a sense of, empowerment,
Definite.
knowing we have the resources to handle things.
It's about shifting from being reactive to being responsive.
I like that.
Instead of being overwhelmed by emotions, we can learn to observe them,
Cool.
understand them, and then choose how we want to respond.
Right.
Now let's move on to strategy number 2, which is all about gaining perspective,
Okay.
especially when we're feeling overwhelmed or lost in a problem.
Right.
We call this zooming out.
So taking a step back,
Yeah,
looking at it from a wider lens, as if we were observing it from a distance.
precisely. Think about it like this.
Okay.
You're standing in a dense forest, surrounded by tall trees.
Okay.
All you can see are the trees right in front of you.
Yeah.
Easy to feel lost and
You
disoriented.
might even panic.
Yeah, feeling like there's no way out.
Exactly.
But if you could climb to the top of one of those trees,
Right.
look out over the forest, you'd have a completely different perspective.
You would.
You'd be able to see the paths, the clearings, the way out.
That's a great analogy.
So zooming out is about shifting our perspective to see that bigger picture,
Right.
to realize that the problem that feels so big right now
Yeah.
is just one small piece of a much larger thing.
And when we zoom out, we often get a sense of calm, right?
Exactly. Clarity that allows us to make better decisions.
And approach things with resilience.
It's about remembering that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
That even in the chaos,
Yeah.
there's a bigger picture unfolding.
How do we actually practice this in our daily lives?
There are lots of ways to do it.
Okay.
Sometimes just taking a few deep breaths.
Right.
Reminding yourself that this moment is just a tiny blip in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
That can be enough. Other times, it might be helpful to do activities that connect you to something larger.
Right.
Spending time in nature,
Right.
listening to music,
Mm.
practicing gratitude, or even just having a good conversation with someone you trust.
It's about finding those things that help us shift our perspective.
Exactly, and make it a practice to zoom out whenever you're feeling stuck.
Okay.
Because when we gain perspective, we gain power.
Yeah.
The power to choose how we respond to challenges,
Okay.
to focus on what matters, and to create a life that feels more aligned with what we want.
And now, for the moment, We've all been waiting
Here
for
we go.
the grand finale,
The AI's top pick.
the most foundational strategy of all. Are you ready?
I think so. Our listener must be on the edge of their seat.
Okay, drum roll, please. It's the art of saying no.
Saying no.
I know, I know. It might seem counterintuitive.
Yeah, we're always told to say yes.
To be agreeable, to be
To
helpful.
make things happen.
Right, we're told saying yes is the path to success.
But saying yes to everything can lead to burnout.
Resentment,
A life that feels out of whack with our values.
we're spreading ourselves too thin.
Trying to please everyone but ourselves.
We're so busy saying yes to others that we forget to say yes to ourselves.
Exactly. That's where the power of saying no comes in.
It's about setting boundaries.
Protecting your time and energy.
Right, making sure that you're only saying yes to the things that matter to you.
The things that align with your goals.
Your values.
Your deepest desires.
It's about understanding that saying no is not weakness.
Right.
It's not selfish.
It's self-care.
It's an act of self-care
Empowerment.
and empowerment.
It's about honoring ourselves.
Yeah.
Creating space for things that light us up.
The things that bring us joy.
Fulfillment, purpose.
But saying no can be hard,
It can be, yeah.
especially if you're a people pleaser,
Right.
worried about letting others down. What advice do you have for people who struggle with this?
It's a skill worth developing.
Yeah.
Remember, saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational.
Right.
It can be done with grace.
Kindness.
Just a simple explanation that you're not able to commit right now
It's about being honest
with yourself and others.
about what you can actually take on.
And sometimes it's just about learning to prioritize yourself.
Your own well-being.
The more you practice saying no to the things that don't serve you,
Right.
the more space you create for the things that do.
For the things that bring you joy.
Things that make you feel alive.
It's about creating a life that feels authentically yours.
A life that's aligned with your vision for yourself.
Tipping into your power.
Taking ownership of your choices.
Even when it means saying no.
Even when it's hard.
Yeah, it's like giving ourselves permission to put ourselves first.
Exactly. It's not about being selfish. It's about taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into these 11 strategies,
Okay.
I'd love for our listeners to think about this idea of saying no.
Yeah.
What are you saying yes to right now that maybe you shouldn't be?
Things that might be draining your energy.
Pulling you away from what's really important.
Maybe it's a commitment that you made that doesn't feel right anymore.
Or a relationship.
That's become more work than it's worth.
Maybe even an opportunity that looks good on paper.
But deep down, it doesn't feel quite right.
I think journaling about this can be really helpful.
Yeah, just taking some time to really tune in.
And ask yourself, what do I need to say no to make space for the things that really light me up?
Remember, saying no doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing.
Right.
It can be done gently,
With kindness.
just a clear communication of your needs.
It's about honoring yourself.
And recognizing that you deserve to live a life that feels right.
You have the power to make that happen.
You can create a life that reflects who you truly are.
And it starts with having the courage to say no.
To the things that are holding you back.
And to say yes to the things that bring you joy.
What a great way to end this.
I hope our listeners are leaving with a sense of possibility.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of tools to create a really amazing life.
Definitely remember this is a journey.
It is.
It's about exploring and growing.
Trying things out.
See what works for you.
And being patient with yourself along the way.
We want to hear from you. What resonated with you the most?
Yeah. What are you excited to try?
Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below,
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe.
so you don't miss out on future episodes.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
And keep seeking out those strategies that help you create a life you love.